some time ago in Sensorica, we worked on a concept, we called it peer governance. And the key idea here is to say, well, what are the mechanisms that you use to attract what's positive, attract what's um, adding to the community, and repel what's negative for the community, what makes it run slower, and what pisses people off in a sense. Um, okay, so what are these mechanisms? What are these mechanisms where you, let's say, to simplify, attract the good and repel the bad? Okay, I don't like that good or versus bad language, but just to make it simple, black and white. Um, so, the traditional hierarchical world, you have the guy that goes on top of a mountain and comes back with 10 commandments and it says, this is the law, these are the rules. Okay, so that's a centralization of, let's say, rules. Everybody has the same, and it's frozen. It's written in stone. Okay, that's the metaphor. It's a very powerful metaphor that we operate from 2,000 years. Okay, so that is the hierarchical way of dealing with governance. Okay, so somebody has given us some rules, or we have given ourselves some rules, but that's what they are, and they're written in stone. Okay, the peer-to-peer way that we discovered in Sensorica was and Vinicius was talking about, autopoiesis and fluidity, when he was saying, like, the culture is not resisting change, but all of a sudden it melts. All of a sudden you put it in an environment that it could flow, it could mix and remix and change, so it becomes like malleable. It's the thing that just melts, right? Um, so so in the peer-to-peer culture, and that's what he experiments with, is that these, we don't have rules written, given to us or given by ourselves. Okay, uh, the idea was, what if we have a place where constantly people publish what are the core values that they respond to today, tomorrow, after tomorrow. Okay, so I can say, well, today I came to the conclusion in my own evolution as an individual that this principle is extremely important for me. Okay, well, um, and what if other people are reporting the same thing as they evolve? So that place becomes a constantly shifting, organic place of declaration. So when somebody enters a space like that, he says, okay, everybody here is sensitive to that thing. Some people are sensitive to the other thing. Some people are sensitive to yet the other thing. And now today, based on that, I know that if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna piss a lot of people off or very few people off. You see what I'm saying? So instead of saying, okay, here are the 10 commandments, we say, here's how I feel about these things. And Vinny says, okay, yeah, here's how I feel about these things. Okay, and now everybody knows, everybody computes that my behavior can affect the group or can affect an individual in such and such a way. You see, so we're not writing 10 commandments here. And I think somewhere this is where Vinny is going with interaction. You know, when he says interaction, and interaction is I don't know, it's something like the purest form of transaction between humans, right? Um, um, it's not mediated. It's not mediated by these 10 commandments, this ledger that is there. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So I'm experimenting a lot with that, and even yesterday I had an experiment on Facebook, not Twitter, but Facebook, The here, instead of having the let's say the police coming, a body that we created to enforce the Ten Commandments, okay, you have mechanisms of peer pressure, okay. So you don't have somebody in uniform, which is an identifiable social organ, and tasked with purifying society, taking out the bad and leaving the good. Okay, you have peer pressure. So you see that the way rules are written, okay, and the way rules are enforced are kind of very different in a peer-to-peer society, according to me, and what we experimented with in the past. And we have a document, peer governance, that explains that. Was written a long time ago. And when I experimented this on Facebook, is like somebody was just insulting people, right? And what I did, I said, well, cool, okay, Facebook doesn't enforce that, and I don't want a platform to come. I don't want the platform to be the police and to come and just take people out. I'm against deplatforming. So what I did, I took that person's post, okay, which was talking like nonsense, and you know, was not a sort of a violent comment, but was such a bad ethical stand, okay, that not many people can bear. So what I did, I took that post and I reposted it. And I said, well, here's we have a debate, and here's how some individuals are looking at it. I don't find that okay. What do you think? So it's amplifying. So the thing on Facebook is that if you like something really, if you find something really nice, well, you amplify it, you share it, and you know what I'm saying, you like it, you share it, you amplify it. Why don't we amplify the bad stuff and give our own opinion on it without insulting the person, and letting others decide? Well, it has such a huge effect. Like, first of all, that person um, was completely, like, it was very, you know, commenting all the time and all that, and then boom, stop completely. Okay. And interestingly enough, there was people coming and writing comments on my post of his post now, saying, well, that's not nice, you shouldn't do that. And I say, whoa, people really understand this as a punishment. And my answer was, well, we amplify. If somebody writes a post on a public forum, they want that post to be seen. The same way we amplify things that we like, we can also amplify things that we don't like, without being, you know, insulting. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I think I'm on ethical good grounds, but people felt that I was punishing. So you see, this peer pressure. It's what you're saying is that you're pointing the finger to a bad behavior without being too judgmental or insulting, and tell other people, can you judge this yourselves? Okay, and that creates a peer pressure. Okay, now everybody knows what everybody knows, and the guy knows that other people know too. You see, so the person feels really like shit, and self excludes, and other people cut their ties with these people. You see what I'm saying? And at some point, there is no reason for that individual to stay in these circles anymore, right? So you see how we can apply this without saying, well, we have a community rule here, and you transgress the community rule, and now the admin will just ban the shit out of you. You know, you see what I'm saying? You see the two approaches. You know, when we process bad behavior in society, we process it against the Ten Commandments, and it's processed by again a body, the judge, against an organ of the society that we created specifically for that. But when in peer-to-peer And that's why experimentation in peer culture is good at that small level, because we try to extract ourselves from the hierarchical paradigm. And if we start from the basics, like the interaction, if we start from the basics, we might come to these new dynamics free of the hierarchical luggage that we carry with us. So to go back to the idea, is that when this peer pressure is applied, it's not interpreted by a judge against the Ten Commandments. It's processed in everybody's brain at that particular moment, in that particular context. And the result is the aggregate of what everybody feels and thinks at that particular moment. It's not the Ten Commandments and the judge. Is
Yeah,
how everybody's
that's
processing
what
the information, and it's fluid.
yeah,